Eric here. Today I wanted to talk to you about the dangers of being an INFJ. I'm only going to be talking about one particular area, but the danger of overstimulation. Now I'm particularly talking about mental overstimulation, but first let me kind of lay the groundwork. As our primary cognitive function being NI, we organize information in web-based patterns. This means we're constantly gathering information. I'm going to use this very generally. When anyone speaks to an INFJ and they do not speak in linear patterns, you are going to lose us. And we are going to, because for me, I get a headache trying to figure out what the other person's trying to say. NI organizes, or intuition organizes info in web-based patterns. It organizes patterns. For example, you say, hey Eric, I wanted to talk to you about you going back to school. I know you can't work full-time and go back full-time to school. However, if you wanted to work for me for my business, then if we're making as much as I think we'd be making, then you and I could just be partners, and whenever you have the time, you can do some work and I'll pay you for it. That's a good way to talk to an INFJ and let them know your idea. What my mother does is, her being an ENFJ, she likes to write things out and figure out what she's going to say before she says it. When she doesn't do this, she gives me literal migraines. Like right now, I'm having one. I just don't even want to look at the light. It's slowly going away, but I mean just an intense headache. So the way she did it is, she said, it's more for me, but I know you kind of wanted to go back to school, and I mean, this business is going to be huge, and I have all these creative ideas, and I thought about going to someone who can just stop there. At that point, my intuition is working on 4 different topics at once. When you talk to an INFJ, we are mentally recording the entire conversation. Do not give us a headache, please, by throwing us massive amounts of info that are completely unrelated to each other. We recognize patterns. If my going back to school is directly related to your hosting a business, I can connect the dots. If my going back to school has absolutely nothing to do with who you talk to work up your business, then don't tell me. One of the biggest dangers of being an INFJ, and this is something we have to look out for, you have to begin to recognize the patterns and shut the person down. You can't. You just mentally can't do it. You have to shut the person down and say, stop, you're getting off track, stay on track. And if they get angry with you and say, well, I was talking, then forget it. You physically cannot give to them, because they are going to drain you of everything that you have. They're leeches. If they can't stop and listen to you and respect you enough to honor your time and honor the fact that you are giving them your energy to listen to them, not say a word, just listen. If they can't honor you enough as a result of that, then they're not worth your time. Shut them down. If they don't want to listen, say, hey, you got to stay on track. What were you saying about this? And you don't have to be so direct. If you say, hold on, back up a moment. What did he mean whenever you were talking about me going back to school? Let's talk about that first. You can be as gentle as you want. Me, I'm just a straightforward and bold person. I'm a man, and quite frankly, testosterone makes men pretty aggressive. It makes us want to win, it makes us competitive, and I think that's one of the main differences between the male and female INFJ. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you've ever felt yourself be completely upfront and bold and just put your foot down, or if you feel like you're more of a passive speaker, in the sense like you kind of hint, or you're trying to be as kind as you can. For me, I'm thinking I have no problem telling someone straight up, straight to the point, straight linear lines. Like, I know women's brains are like an airplane. They'll circle around the runway and then they'll land. They're trying to get to the topic that the point they're actually trying to make. But men think in straight lines, just the way we're physiologically wired in our brain. We think in straight lines. A equals B, where you might go A, C, D, X, Y, Z equals B. And we're just like, whoa. Or here's a perfect example. And I'm kind of going off track, but I'll tie it together. Just give me some time. So, perfect example. I get home after a long day of work. Wife's cooking in the kitchen. and I say, hey, how was your day? Oh, you would not believe the day that I had. I was going to go to the store. You know how Giants Open. Well, I didn't want to drive 20 minutes all the way down to Carlisle just to pick up some meat. But you know, they were having a sale, but then there was a traffic accident on 83, and I just didn't see how it was worth it for me to have to drive 20 minutes all the way out for the cheaper deal. So I was thinking to myself, and I was angry, and I didn't want to I was going to go 5 minutes down the road just to the gas station, maybe pick up something there, but then I thought to myself, it's so overpriced. You know, I can't believe that some gas stations just overprice all of their products. It got to me so much. So I thought, and I called up my girls, and I waited to see if the traffic got any better, and after 45 minutes, I just couldn't make up my mind, so I finally put on my shoes, sucked it up, and drove all the way down to Giant. I cannot believe, do you know, it was only supposed to take me 20 minutes, and I ended up driving 45 minutes just to get there, just to pick up some stupid chicken. Or the man saying, can't you just say chickens for dinner? Did you have to tell me all that? Honestly, men don't care about all those other details. We just don't care. We just want an answer. I just got home from a long day of work, and you just talked for 2 minutes. All right, I didn't talk for 2 minutes, but you get what I'm trying to say. You would, with all due respect. I grew up in a household full of women, and I've spent a lot of time studying them in psychology. I get it. It's okay, but I get it. Where a lot of men don't. So they're prone to just not talking and saying, okay, and going and sit down and watching the TV. Men have what's called a nothing box. Our brain has been, a study was done at a university where they connected an EEG wires to a man's brain, and they monitored his brain waves. And get this, the brain waves flatlined. One woman is tick tick, I think he's dead. What? And the brain waves started going again. Men have the ability to think of absolutely nothing and still breathe. And we're subconsciously dealing with all of our internal emotional issues. There's a study that proves this. So why am I saying all of this? Because men and women are prone to overstimulation differently. When you are dealing with a male INFJ, figure out the facts, talk in straight lines, and I don't care if you jump around, but make sure everything is connected. Don't just start talking and then jump to your business. Oh, and I was gonna hire someone to sew, but I didn't think I really needed to have someone sew. Okay, what does this have to do with me going to school? Nothing. So don't talk about it. That's what my mom did. She just talked about all this, and I'm like, what does this have to do with me going to school? One thing at a time. Now, I can't personally speak for a female. I said all of this because I want to get you involved. If you have understanding on the matter, if you've done research into psychology, if you know about this stuff, comment below, and if it's too much to type out, make a separate video, make a response video, or if you want to, connect with me. I'll leave my my contact info in the description, and we can make a video together, a collab about this. But one of the dangers of being an INFJ is we're constantly taking in information, and if you give a male INFJ so much info that's unrelated to each other, we become mentally overwhelmed, and we can't think, and our mind just shuts off and stops processing things. It's a self-defense mechanism because we get physical headaches, or at least I get physical headaches, and I'm sure a lot of other men do, and we just can't figure it out. We can't process it. You've given us all this unrelated information. We've listened to you attentively, stored it all in our brain, and our NI is we're getting headaches because there's no pattern. There's no pattern. We're trying to connect a pattern, and it's physically giving us a headache. It's not working. It's like one of the gears are stuck. It's just not working. And I get physical headaches trying to follow people like this. So one of the major dangers of being an INFJ is you have to take care of yourself. You have to learn how to take care of yourself. And that means guarding your mind, because it is what you spend your most time in. And if you become mentally burned out, for an INFJ, it's just as bad, if not worse, than being emotionally burned out. Because if we can't even process our emotions in our mind, then we're in trouble. You know, we're going to be like a live wire. Our emotions are going to be like a live wire hooked up to an EEG heart monitor. It's going to be everywhere, and we're not going to know what's going on, and that's frustrating for us. And then we get filled with anxiety. Then we don't know why it's happening, and we can't figure it out. And then someone comes to try to console us, and we don't want to be consoled. We just want to be able to think, and we can't think because we're so mentally burned out. And then we get into this depressed state, and then it's like manic depression, happy, hot, really happy. Then we're sad. Then we're laughing. Then we're angry. We don't even know what's going on, and it destroys us. We can't handle it. We have to understand. So if you're so mentally exhausted because someone else has exhausted you, you have to be able to take care of yourself in this way. So I've said a lot. I'm sure if you're an INFJ watching this video, you probably feel a little bit like head heavy. Wow, let me chew on this. Sorry, I know I said a lot in a very short period of time, so I'll end the video here. Thinking of you guys, praying for you every day. I hope you're doing great wherever you're at. Be blessed, and make sure to comment below. I love hearing your thoughts. I don't care if it's just a hello. I love hearing from you. I love hearing what's on your mind, what your thoughts are, and just please share your heart with me. It gives me so much joy to see my viewers actually getting engaged, and with me personally, not just with my videos, but with me. So be blessed, and I'll see you next time.